So I was trying to find a movie that would complement well to the season. So I read through your comments and once again, you didn't let me down. That's right, it's time to talk about some of our more favorite Easter eggs. Here's everything you missed in the Pixar movie Toy Story that time forgot. They just barely get done showing us the title and bam! They're already teasing us with an Easter egg. Look closely at the snowman and you will see that's the snowman from Pixar's short, Knick Knack. He just cannot get out of that snow globe.
Oh no! My dinosaur has escaped!
When her dinosaur escaped the cage, I'm wondering if she's imagining she's in Jurassic Park. If so, you probably don't want to go out and try looking for this type of dinosaur. It won't end good, I promise.
Did you hear that, Rex?
I am a bit concerned.
Not only do we find Rex and Trixie hiding under the tree from the escaped dinosaur, we also see the Pixar balls hiding under there too. Look closely on the train, both sides actually. One side's a little bit easier to spot. When Bonnie and her mom arrive at Mason's house, we see the Pixar ball on the bumper. If you don't know the other secrets that are on her car's bumper, you need to go back and watch my video Toy Story of Terror. And if you watch my video about Pixar's Up, then you remember the ambulance that rescued Carl? Well, that can be seen on the floor in Mason's room. Speaking of Mason's room, this is where we virtually see all the Easter eggs. On all the toy boxes, we can see the Luxor ball is stamped next to the age restriction. In this case, ages 5 and up are for these toys. The table back there with the giant Lego display is actually based on the director's son's Lego table that he owns in his bedroom. The director is Steve Purcell, by the way, and he's the guy that also co-directed the movie Brave.
Are you sure you know what you're doing?
What else is on that table though that may or may not be a copy of his son's Lego table is the Pizza Planet trunk right there.
You've got to be kidding me.
So cool. Remember the carpet in Sid's house was from the movie The Shining? Well, they put a board game in this movie as well, shouting out once again to that movie. And on the board game it even says, "Can you get out?" Look up high and you're gonna see Nemo is hanging out on the board game just like in Riley's imagination. That's not all that's in there though. We have For the Birds, the board game, obviously a reference to one of Pixar's best shorts, For the Birds. Remember that custom transformer in Toy Story of Terror?
Who dares summon Transitron?
Well, here we can see a poster on the wall of that transformer.
Dinosaur cars!
The dinosaur car was a hint to a deleted scene where Buzz and Woody would have gotten more quality screen time. The only reason why they cut that scene was because of time constraints. Toy Story That Time Forgot was originally designed for a TV special, so it had to be around 22 minutes. The rest of the minutes were going to be commercials. If you followed me on this channel long enough, then you know my favorite movie of all time is Gladiator. So obviously I'm gonna say that this guy's name is based on Maximus, the main character from Gladiator.
I am Reptilus Maximus.
Remove your helmet and tell me your name.
My name is Maximus.
Not convinced? Check this out. Before Maximus kills his opponent, he looks to the leader, just like Maximus looked to Commodus. A thumbs up meant spare your competitor's life, and a thumbs down meant kill him.
Battle well, brother.
With strength and honor.
Strength and honor.
Strength and honor.
Strength and honor.
Strength and honor. Strength and honor.
One thing that wasn't from Gladiator though was the horn announcing the game. That's actually the horn from Planet of the Apes. Now we can't forget about Disney's favorite toy, Star Wars. When Sock Ape here enters the arena, it's just like in Star Wars Episode 2 when the monsters enter the arena. He gets poked by the spear of one of the guards just like Sock Ape does right here when he enters the arena.
Well, that part adds up.
You may get the impression from watching this video that Pixar has it out for video games. This isn't even the case at all though. The creators were looking at this as what would possibly be a serious threat to a toy. Obviously, a video game is a perfect fit for that. Because if the toys aren't being played with, the toys aren't living. Speaking of video games, when Trixie is running from Maximus to go get Bonnie, if you look at the barn, I know this may be a stretch, but it looks like it's a makeshift racetrack around the barn. Now that's not in any of the Cars movies though, right? Not really, but in Cars 3 Driven to Win, there is a track where you race through a big red barn, like that. A video game from the movie though that was in here is the video game Mason and Bonnie are playing. Right when Maximus shuts off the power to the game, for just a brief moment we get to see the game they were playing. And this video game should look very familiar to you. It's the same game that Rex was playing in the beginning of Toy Story 2, where Buzz Lightyear is flying through the canyon in search for evil Emperor Zurg.
Sadly, the controls are beyond my limitations.
Limitations are the shackles we bind to ourselves.
But look at my little arms! I can't press the fire button and jump at the same time!
Another Emperor teaser we're gonna get is by this lame toy when he says this line right here.
I find their lack of armor disturbing.
That's a reference to the greatest bad guy of all time. That's right, Darth Vader.
Now I am the master.
More specifically, back in Star Wars Episode 4, when he says, I find your lack of faith disturbing.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Yeah, so what? He says it way better than I do. A not so obvious Easter egg that you may have to squint your eyes to see though is the Luxor Lamp. When Bonnie is running from Maximus, we see in a very dark corner it looks like the Luxor Lamp is hiding possibly. We also see a bucket of army men in the background. Now I doubt it's the same chickens that abandoned Andy, unless of course they had some sort of big parachute for the entire bucket in their back pocket, which I doubt. Look on the top shelf and we see Mason has a pet.
Jones! Jones! You're not gonna believe this!
Not just any pet though, that's Mr. Jones, the sticky bandit from Toy Story of Terror. If you watch Toy Story 3, that train may look a little bit familiar. It's the same toy that Andy used in the train robbery in the beginning of Toy Story 3. Does this kid on the toy box look familiar? Well, what about this kid? They're actually both kids from Riley's class in Inside Out. This one's a little bit of a stretch, but this castle right here subtly looks like the castle at Disney World, just without the little peaks.
Incredible, isn't it?
In the credits, we get to see the pizza plant truck one more time, and an old wore-down airplane. It's possible that this is the same exact plane from the original Toy Story. Regardless, it's the same type of plane for sure. The cleric is probably the bad guy and doesn't want Mason to play with him because he's the only toy from the entire collection that's ever been played with before. This would support my theory that Mason already owned the cleric before Christmas, giving Mason plenty of time to play with him. And since he's kind of a lame squeaky toy on wheels, it only makes sense that playtime didn't quite go so well for the cleric. In the end of the movie, we see Mason is sleeping on the floor in a make-believe tent. If you think it's because Pixar forgot to put in a bed in the bedroom, I don't think so. This is probably a designated playroom. I mean, the kid has a designated video game room, so why not? His dad is rich, and he seems to be the only kid in the house, so this isn't a mistake.
Nobody's this good.
So is this going to be the end of the battle swords? Probably not. If you watch the movie with the commentary from the director and head of story, you will see in the end they tease by saying, hopefully they will be playing again in the near future. You never know. We're doing survey time a little bit later today. What do you think about this theory? Do you think we're going to see Mason again in Toy Story 4, or do you think they were just a brief moment in Bonnie's life? The last Easter egg is probably the most complex one to explain. That's going to be the gem right here on the clerk's staff. You want to know what the history is of it? Well, it's called a Zeta crystal, and it comes from Zeta radiation from a distant galaxy that exploded. Here's an actual picture from the Blu-ray explaining the planet that it came from. If you watch my Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 video, then you may recognize that that's the same planet that exploded in the end. You know, the evil bad guy.
That was glorious.
It was, wasn't it?
I announced the winner of the Nintendo Switch on my second channel. The link's in the description. Find these 5 hidden Easter eggs right here in this video for your chance to win a free shirt. Include hashtag toys. Always enjoy every moment you get with your loved ones, and most importantly of all, gents and gentlets, share a smile. They are contagious.
Be grateful for your gifts. They are all around you. Aww.
Hey, share a smile. They're contagious. Can you imagine a day without smiling? Whew, that would be outrageous. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with Crazy Nate. Make sure to leave a thumbs up if he left you feeling great. Have fun and we'll see you next time. And don't forget to subscribe.